important that you stay you stay relaxed, get your drink, whatever it is, and stay with us for the next hour or so, where we dive into the opportunities for GrowForMe. It's an investment opportunity. You get so for instance, if you invest in pineapple takes 6 months. You'll get your money in 6 months time. You can reinvest your money into something else, or you can take your money out, whichever one that you want. But it's really good for you to continue that circle. You're helping farmers, you're helping the economy, you're building up the economy. So you are investing in such a good thing as well. So I would urge all of you who are really, really serious about investing to stay tuned, because it's a great session. So get your comments and everything ready. And then also let me know, guys, like, what do you want to hear? Who do you want to hear from? What investment opportunities are you interested in that maybe Goober we can, look at doing for the next session? Please write in the box for me. And there's more of you on, but I've only seen, people that said that I'm watching from Atlanta. And where is everybody watching me from, please, today? It will be really good to hear. Okay, Sab. Sab will definitely send you the link once we finish the show. Yeah, it's actually going to be the same link, but we'll share it with you as soon as it's done. Alrighty. Get to hear from you. Okay, more people watching from ATL London. Okay, Sab's in London. Okay, thank you. So I think it's about 7 o'clock in the UK right now. Hi. I'm watching from Kumasi. Hi, Dennis. Thank you so much for watching from Kumasi. Budapest. Hey, prom. Okay, UK. Wow, I like this. I haven't been to Budapest, but I'm so glad that you guys are watching. It's really important that we learn about the opportunities, we deliberate, you ask all the questions that you want to ask Nana. California, hey, Justice, thank you so much for tuning in from California. Where in California, may I ask? I was in LA a few weeks ago. Can you explain the new services introduced on the GrowForMe platform? Yes, Nana will be going through all of that, and that's why we have him on the show today, to explain all of the new platforms, all of the new investment opportunities that there is, that you can invest in. Not the crops, I mean the services. Yes, I know exactly what you mean. And Nana is preparing for that. Raphael joining from NC Greensboro. Okay. Limor. Okay. All right. Well, I'm so glad that you guys have tuned in and watching. Great to see you all. Yes, please do let me know, as I mentioned, if there's anybody that you'd like me to interview, any investment opportunities that you'd like me to work on, I would very much appreciate that. Okay, Nana is ready to come online. And so without further ado, I will introduce the co-founder of GrowForMe. As I mentioned, GrowForMe has been in existence for, I think it's going to be 6 years this year. And so it's a platform that you can basically invest virtually. It's an investment platform where you can invest in crops and other services now. Yes. And so welcome, Nana. Give him a round of applause. Yeah.
Hi, Nana. It's good to see you. I'm good, and you?
I'm good, thank you.
It's exciting to me. Come again? Okay, you're in the US, no longer in Accra.
No.
Great.
I'm in the US. I'm gonna give you the floor. Help. As you know, company unfortunately
Yeah, Dinta, your sound just went bad, but I think it's good. I think I heard you. You're ready for me to start presenting, right? Yes, awesome. So, hi guys, I'm super excited to be here. Thanks for the opportunity, Denta. And talking about Atlanta, do you know 6 years ago, on the 24th of June in Atlanta, on my birthday, that's when we launched our crowdfunding platform. So for all those from Atlanta and the call, it's a pleasure to meet you all. Atlanta brings so much memory. And I'm so happy to be here the second time. When we met last 2 weeks, it was a very exciting opportunity to share with you about story and the power of investment crowdfunding. And today, I'm very excited. I'm going to take my time again to walk you through what it is we do at GrowForMe and how you can be part of a revolution that is transforming our continent. So without wasting any time, I'm going to just share my screen. I'm going to go through a couple of slides so that I can take my time to explain who we are. So first of all, I need to share the disclaimer. We are regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission Ghana, so it's very important I always put out this disclaimer. Investing in debt security for small businesses and early stage businesses is risky. Issuers may default or you may lose some or all of your money. Make sure you diversify your investment and only invest money that you can afford to lose. With that out of the way, I can now go into how we are reimagining Africa's agricultural financing future. And my name is Nana. I'm co-founder and CEO of GrowForMe, and this is our sit here doing this. Just a few stats on what we've done over the past 5 years. We are the first licensed investment crowdfunding platform in Africa and an intermediary in Africa. The intermediary base is responsible for making sure we do due diligence on projects that we list on our website before you invest in. And as of 2025, we have over 3,000 retail investors who have invested over 1.2 million, over 200,000, invested in debt, in 200,000 institutional investors. When I say institutional, I mean banks and VC. And also we are gotten to the point where in 2026, this year, we are targeting to grow to about 30,000 retail investors. We want to raise 10 million in debt financing, particularly for the agricultural value chain, and also trade about $20 million worth of the commodities. You heard the president most recently saying that there's enough money in the country to buy our own cocoa, and I'm a strong believer of that. So the point is, we have so much land. What you can see is huge amount of land with water behind it. So it doesn't make any sense that we have to import anything that is agriculture, and that's where the country is heading to. And we believe that by pulling finance and capital together, we can transform the agricultural sector. And to do that, you have to understand that the problem of, food is a huge problem, particularly in Africa. We're going to have a 1.1 billion mouths to feed. And it will require over $180 billion from smallholder farmers to produce the food. Why smallholder farmers? Africa, for example, particularly has over 80% of its agriculture controlled and supported by smallholder farmers. People are doing typically between 5 to 10 acres. That is the reality. Of course, there's a lot of commercial agriculture that is picking up, and that's one of the things we also are supporting and investing in. And we believe that institutional investors who typically will not invest in agriculture have created a gap where retail investors, when I say retail investors, people like you and myself can come in, invest directly into the value chain, create value, and also provide the needed financing. But at the same time, smallholder farmers also struggle to have the needed market to sell to. We come in with a ready market, and for those who invest in commodity trading our platform, what you are literally doing is providing a market for us to buy from farmers and sell to processing companies that can now pay back with a return. So these are the problems we solve at GrowForMe. And what I'll be taking you through today is our GrowForMe online investment crowdfunding platform. For those in Ghana, we are embedded in MTN. So within MTN, you'll be able to access the GrowForMe platform and invest directly through MTN. And the exciting thing is that we have solutions specifically for farmers that allows them to engage and get things like ready market, tractor services, training, inputs, and so on. But today's presentation is not focused on the farmers. It's on you, the investor who wants to invest in the value chain. Now, the opportunity that we've co-created with you through your investment, we're able to vet very good agricultural opportunities, and through the financing platform we provide you, you can invest directly into the value chain whilst we provide these products directly to processing companies and markets that need them. There's a huge opportunity. In Africa, it's about $20 billion opportunity that is yet to be tapped. We're looking at farmers that are organized, they're in groups, they have the capacity to take capital in the form of inputs and also pay back in commodities. Why pay back in commodities? Commodity prices always appreciate till the next harvest consistently. So it's always a great opportunity for them to pay in commodities. And we know that what's going to drive this, adoption of direct investment in the agricultural value chain is really Gen Zs and also anyone between the ages of 40 to 30, 40 to 20. We're not saying those above cannot, but we see that more people are now very conscious about transforming Africa and want to be part of the change. And there's also strong regulations that is supporting this transformation. And to finish off, there are different players in the space, but what makes us different is we are the first to be licensed, we provide the technology, and we allow everybody to invest. So since we started, we have about 3.3 retail investors, 3.3, that's 3,300 retail investors. We've impacted 33,000 farmers who've helped increase their income levels from where 0 or sometimes just 5% to over 30%. And for investors, we've returned over the past 5 years for 8.5% for those who often done commodity trade financing and agriculture 12.5%, on average about 10%. We find more people financing commodity trading because there's a huge gap there, the need for ready markets. So with that out of the way and having a clear understanding of the business, I now want to move into the conversation for today, which is the GrowForMe platform. So the platform is what allows you to invest directly in agriculture. So this platform is licensed by the SEC, and once you land on the platform, you can click on invest. And once you click on invest, it would load a page like this for you, telling you everything that we have available. It's very important to know that if you want to reach out to us and for support, you can always use any of these channels here, and our team will be ready to assist you during working hours. So that said, let's look at the categories that we have. We have about 9 main categories that are active now. Farms is what we started with in 2020 when we first started this business, and we started it actually as a result of a journey we made from Accra to Nigeria on bamboo bicycles. We were amazed to see that there was so much land and water, but farms were very small. So the thesis is we could crowd in capital and help farmers scale, and for the past 5 years that has been validated. So for those who want to invest in things like production, which goes into seed, fertilizer, and mechanization or tractor services, that is where you invest. So when you click that you want to invest in farms, you're technically investing in primary production. Now for the products we have there, we have cassava, which is returning between 10 to 25%, 26%. It's about a 1 year project. And you also have soybean. Soybean is returning between 8 to 24%. We are supporting particularly women. And remember, most of these products for smallholder farmers, they pay in commodities. For large scale farmers we finance, they pay in cash. So for soybean, 8 to 24%, and for maize is between 8 to 20%. Personally, I'm a big fan of soybean because it has so much industrial use and there's great demand for it. The next product that you want to look to is commodities, one of my favorites. So I told you that very often when farmers often harvest, they struggle to find off-takers. So what we've done under our trade department is to find verified, authentic processing companies that are in constant need and demand for these products. And we partner with them, and what we then do is that we provide, through your investment, be able to pay farmers at the farm gate for their soybean, maize, or cashew, or shea nut, and then we supply to off-takers. Once we do that, we make a margin, a spread, typically between 3 to 5% if we buy and sell quickly. If we don't hoard, unfortunately, if we were hoarding, we could make as much as 30 to 40 or even 50%. We don't believe in hoarding because we know that there's a lot of food that's going waste, so we need to move it straight from farm to market. So your financing is what pays farmers at the farm gate or at the warehouse so they get their money and they can release the commodities, which are loaded on trucks, insured, and then delivered to processing companies. Now, the products here include shea nut, soybean, cocoa, cashew, and maize. My personal favorite is always soybean, like I mentioned. Lots of companies processing it. The next category of products we have is what we call real estate. Within real estate, you have 3 products, which includes land clearing. So land clearing particularly is for commercial agricultural use. Okay, for those who want to go into large-scale commercial agriculture use, we raise capital to support in preparing large acres of land for commercial agriculture. Also, warehousing. Currently, we are doing a lot of warehouse rental. So we take existing government warehouses that are not in the best of shape, and we put them in shape, pretty much ensuring that the warehouses are always, in good, effective use, so that we can bring in the commodities before delivering to off-takers. Then land rental. You may be very familiar with Ghana's land tenure system. So if you want to farm in Ghana, you need to rent the land. Except it's commercial case where the land is acquired, you need to rent. So you can actually finance the land rental for that production season, so that at the end of the production season, the farms that are going to be done on it, you may earn an income, and that's return about 3.7 to 12.7% in the year's campaign. The next product we have, or catalog of products we have, is basically working capital. And what the working capital is doing, we've designed it so that anyone with even as little capital as possible can actually be part of that particular campaign. So what is working capital used in the agricultural value chain? Typically, you may be aware that there's a lot of smallholder farmers, but very limited amount of machinery. So working capital provides them the capital that they would spend in getting farm hands to work on their farm, so that their farms can effectively be done, and then they pay back at the end of the season at a certain rate. So typically we are looking at 1.6 to 5.2%. So typically working capital will pay for things like farm hands, it will pay for things like the people who would carry the commodities for the farmers, and so on, things that are labor intensive, and that labor intensive activity creates jobs for smaller farmers. For commercial farmers, that provides the needed working capital for them to run the operation. So we designed the products to have very little amounts to enter, because we want everybody who wants to be part of it to be in that. Currently, we have no product sitting under equity. We have a couple of deals that are being looked at before we can list equity projects on the website. So let's go on to machinery. Machinery is one of my all-time favorite. Why? Because I trained as an agricultural engineer. My master's in machine systems, particularly tractors, and I spent the rest of the years also doing a lot of software. So why is this a very important portfolio amongst the rest that we have? In Ghana, in particular in the northern part of Ghana, where there's a food basket, where a lot of food is grown, there's a limited number of tractors. It's a huge problem. So what happens is farmers can easily get tractors when they need them to plow their farms, and when it's time to harvest or thresh, they can't get the tractors enough to thresh. Why is that a problem? When a farmer doesn't plow early, he's going to miss out on the one single window he has to farm for that whole year. If you plant late, you're going to miss out the rain just before your crops are really bad. You're going to have a poor harvest. So there's always a need to have enough of these tractors to plow. And at harvest, if you don't harvest your farm quickly, particularly in the northern part of Ghana, which can get very dry, bushfires can come burn the entire farm. I mean, there are terrible stories about this. Of course, you would put in insurance, but the best insurance is to make sure you can thresh your farm quickly after harvest. So we have the machinery fund, particularly for tractors. We have two types of tractor funds. You have the 1-year type, which can return between 4 to 13%. That basically is financing the tractor acquisition. And you have a 10-year fund, which basically is a long-term fund that can return between 1.5 to 2.5x the amount invested. That is actual capital for purchasing, the tractor. And already we have 5 tractors that are on the field working for farmers, and it's been tremendous. There are many stories I'm going to show you, so you can see the effect of what we are doing. The next product is the threshers. So the threshers are combined with the tractor, and that's what allows farmers to thresh their soybean or maize and get the grains out. Once again, I'll show you a video shortly. Then you have the tricycles. So what are the tricycles? Within these farming communities, the roads are not like what we drive on in the city. These are very, very basic roads, dirt roads, feeder roads, and these tricycles are the workhorses. They help farmers to move from farm to warehouse, or from warehouse to market. So these tricycles are typically designed for very, unstable terrains, rough terrains. They're able to carry human load, human cargo, or farm inputs to the farm and back from the farm in a very efficient way. And we currently have about 21 of them on a work and pay model where farmers and aggregators are using it and paying for it. So you can finance that, and that it can return between 1 to 10%. As we continue to run these products, the range we would narrow down. For example, I could tell you effectively that commodity trade has returned over 8.5% over the past 5 years. But for some of these new products, the ranges are wide, because as we roll them out and we deliver these services, we will begin to see clear what the sweet spots are. So if you're asking why is it so wide, one, regulations requires that, and two, because it's going to give us time to understand how the performance is going to be. But you're already running 21 of them, it's already very good. So that's for the machinery. You can realize I spend a lot of time there because this is one of the biggest problems we face in our country. The next category of products we have is technology. So the technologies that we are looking at includes irrigation, which is very critical. We're currently about sinking a borehole so that if the rains don't come at the due time, the farms will still survive. So it's a very important investment to farm at scale and to ensure a return on investment. Having irrigation in place is great. Now, I just want to emphasize that seeing these small entry amounts like $9.5 or 95 cedis does not necessarily mean you must do 95 cedis. You could do multiples of it. So you can do 1,000 multiple of this. That's 95,000 cedis. So I'm just explaining because we have made these entry levels so small so that anyone can literally be part of it. Whether you're a child or an adult, you can still be part of investing in the country and the value chain. The next technology is the IVR SMS services. So we have a paid for extension services on our platform that allows farmers to simply pay to get professional extension services. They get a call and they are supported on the e-extension. And then finally, for the IVR services, we have basically done a couple of programs and trainings, recordings that allow farmers to basically subscribe and get these trainings. So you can finance that particular technology, and you can see the returns for all these products. The next one that excites me, I want to talk about, is impact. Within the impact category, you're looking at creating impact. You want to cause a change. You want to be support. So you're not looking at returns. That's why you see that they're negatives. It's not an error. You literally want to do good, and you're not looking for any payback for that matter, right? So you want to give farmers an insurance. The minimum insurance price a farmer will pay for a 5,000 CD or $500 cover is about 3 Ghana cedis, right? And we designed this amazing product with one of the nation's biggest, insurance company. I'm not going to say it because it's going to be announced very soon. And you can also provide solar panel for farmers to charge in remote locations. Some of these areas don't have electricity at all, right? So, but the sun is there. And also for free climate cover, where they can insure their farm itself, so that in case of anything, their farm is insured. I must say that if you invest or finance production, that's farms, any of the farms, we have a default insurance cover built into it. But in this particular product, you want to support farmers directly. And to finish off is energy. So the energy portfolio basically is providing the diesel needed to power these tractors and tricycles within the farming communities. So if you wanted to provide the energy financing that is required to support these operations, you can finance just that. So clearly you can see that we have literally broken the value chain into pieces which you can now go in and participate in those specific portions of the value chain. Because some people may not be excited about farming, but they may be excited about commodities. Others may be excited about just the machines because they know they are stable. So we've enabled you to particularly play specific parts within the value chain. Okay, so having walked through all these categories, I just want to briefly show you a quick video about 4 particular areas and how farming, commodity trading, machinery reflects within GrowForMe. And then after that, we will quickly then proceed to have a walkthrough of how you can actually invest within the value chain. So give me a minute whilst I quickly pull up the slide deck so that you can have an idea of how you're directly impacting through your investments. So I'll share my screen again to make sure you can hear the audio as I play this. Okay. as I call it, Lucia. You know, it's only retail. You guys are not the only guys who invest. Retail investors are not the only guys who invest, right? So we have banks, we have high net worth individuals, we have VCs and fund managers who also do invest in our business. So she has not yet invested, but I hope they would. But there's a chance for her to see what we do. This is just one of the 5 parts of our business. Remember, we do technology, we do farming, commodity trading, logistics, farming, tractors and the like. But Lucia, good morning. I know you had to wake up very early and begin. How's the experience been so far?
I was just telling your team members that I'm a certified city girl. But
what does that mean?
It means I don't do something. But I really like the walkthrough. I mean, I've seen you do a lot of media presentations of what you are doing up here in the north, and it's absolutely amazing to actually see firsthand what you're really doing. And it's very impressive. Very, very impressive. There's like a 50 acre.
Yeah, there's 50 plus. There's another 50 plus there, but we can go there because
of just soybeans.
Of just soybean, but we have some maize on that farm too.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, that's really lovely to look at. It's an attestation of where the money is really going.
Exactly.
I'm vouching for the fact that this is happening. So if you are not in yet, you should consider coming in.
Great. So that's just a short video from the farming department, and that's when you invest in core production, what your capital does. The next I want to show you is the mechanization or machinery and energy combined when you invest in any of these categories.
For many farmers, hope is not a promise. It is a machine that must work. This is what progress looks like. And this is what too many farmers are left with. Old machines, too few tractors, too much land waiting.
Now the owner of the farm, they figure me out to let them be here 2 days for them, so that they can finish.
The demand is so high. It's already booked somewhere else.
People are on queue, more than 100. Waiting for it.
Yes,
Yeah.
ready.
Ready.
I need tractor.
Tractor.
In my own time, they are asking the question about tractor to threshing their soybeans. Since yesterday, they are all my head on me. So I'm asking here whether those who have in the tractor, if they can go there and do that for them. They said, when they have only 2 tractor, 2 threshers. So they are suffering, they are not getting, they called me.
Well done.
Yes. But this one, can it check for all the family?
No. So what same machine it can't do. It can't do. It's price, it can't do. Okay. Yeah. So we need more of this to do the work.
We need more. Because like me, I have customers plenty.
Yeah.
Yes, I have customers plenty. So we need more machines to work with them.
Okay.
So investors can make between 1.5 to 2x return on their investment. And I think it's an amazing fund, doing good and making returns. So until we meet again from Gushebu, remember to go to GrowForMe.com and invest or on *170# option 543 or go to *800 *008# and invest now. Thank you for being part of our journey. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Right, so this is just on the machinery fund, which is also a component of the energy fund, where you can fund the diesel. So you can clearly see exactly what you're investing in and what transformation you're creating, and it's also profitable. The next I want to show you basically is on the trade department, where we basically buy from farmers into warehouses, clean them with our machines before we load them on trucks and deliver. And in this video, what you basically see is one of our aggregation centers in Gushegu, where we buy from farmers and we clean them and load them on trucks before they are exported. So in this short video, you would walk through how basically our operations function, and then we are going to go into how you can actually do an investment.
Kehinde, I'll tell you again from Hefa International. I'm at the warehouse where a lot of activities happen for GrowForMe organization. So it's trying to put me through
What is happening here? So what's the name?
So it's Nana people. I manage the machines
Okay.
operations.
You work with GrowForMe
Yes.
as well?
As their machine operator,
Okay.
I take care of the machines.
Alright.
So for this one, due to the area, their goods are usually from
Where are we now?
Bushebu.
Bushebu.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Due to the area and the environment, there's usually a lot of impurities in the grains.
Okay.
Yeah, so we bought this machine specifically to deal with that problem, so that we
Okay.
have grains with very low impurity,
Okay.
so that we
To
can
increase the
export and sell.
quality of the grains. Okay. So how specifically does it work?
So for the processes, we first, after they bring in the grains, we load the table, and then we cut the bags and pour the grains at the very end there.
Okay.
So we have it goes in, and we have an opening which it contains fans, so it blows out the dust. So the very first part is the dust,
Okay.
and then we have magnets here which trap the metallic substances and magnetic substances. So after all that is done, it also has it takes out the sticks.
Okay.
So those ones go back.
And
then
stones.
Yeah, no, the stones is from this
Okay,
side.
it's from this
So
side.
this one grades them from the very big ones to the very fine ones.
Okay.
Then we'll be left with the soya beans and the stones that have the same size as the soya
Okay.
beans.
Okay.
So when it comes to this side, this is the B stone now.
Okay.
So because the stones are usually heavier than the soya beans, those ones come back. The vibration will bring the heavy ones down,
Okay.
and the air will blow the soya beans to the floor.
Okay.
So after that, that's basically it.
So now enter the
Everything
bags.
goes to the silo.
Silo.
Then we
Okay.
discharge and sew and pack all of them. And they come and take everything. So that's basically everything.
So this improves the quality of the grains.
Yes, please.
Ready for export.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Fantastic. All right.
Great, awesome. Thank you. So this is just to bring you as close as possible. This is to bring you as close as possible to what happens on the ground. The operations are way bigger than this, but we try to condense this into a very short video. And now that we've given you a real visual representation of what you're investing in, we now want to move onto the platform, and I'd like you to actually, go through the journey with me, sign up with me. Let's go through the process so you can actually do this by yourself or show other friends and colleagues and family how to invest. Before I start, there is a URL, a referral code DENTA, which you should use as part of your sign up process as we go into the system itself. So great. So if this is your first time going to visiting our platform, you would see basically a sign up button. Click on sign up, and that would provide you an interface like this. The interface basically allows you to fill your details in there, including your name, phone number, gender, and your country, and then you have to indicate if you're a politically exposed person or not. It's very important. We do want everyone to invest, but we are regulated by the SEC, and we have to clearly articulate and show the status of our investors. And once you please ensure you put in the referral code DENTA, or you can use DENTA's referral code. I believe DENTA will put it in the chat so that you can have access to it. And once you're done signing up, for the first time, you will have to basically, you would see your profile. Your profile is where you provide all your details. So you would, provide things like your picture, you would indicate your funder, your full name, date of birth, address, select the country, give your ID, upload the ID, your address, and then you can proceed. Now, if you are a business, you represent a business, please, you can upload the corresponding information for a business, and then you will also see your own referral code here, right? Once you click save, you will now go to the point where you have to sign, and you put in your signature. And once you're done with your signature, you will now come to the contracting phase. It's a live contract, and when I say a live contract, what I mean is, as you create farms and trades and products, it's added automatically to the contract, and it's always updated once within your account. It's very important to know that as a regulated entity, we are required to take this information. So, and we are data protection certified and licensed. So we do the most important thing to protect your information so that you can actually invest and create impact whilst making returns. So with the sign up process complete, you will then be brought into the GrowForMe platform, which could be this farming section or the investment section. On this farming section, that's where you can only see the farm related campaigns. On the investment section, you see all the other categories I spoke about. So you can clearly see that we have all the categories right here, which you can see, from the tractors, the working capital, extension, and so on, and you can see everything in here. So before I proceed, I just want to maybe take a pause and find out from the entire, everybody's on the same page, we've all been able to sign up, and whether we can progress or proceed from this stage.
Sure, thank you, Nana.
So then, can I proceed, or we want to wait a little bit for everybody to get to the same point?
Nana, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Yes, so just wanted to see I'm not accurate.
Sorry, I'm struggling to hear you. Should we wait for everyone to sign up, or we can proceed at this stage?
Proceed.
Okay, perfect. So assuming you've signed up and you successfully, verified your email and all that, and you're in, this is how the interface looks like.
Yes,
if you're in Ghana,
so
sorry, Denta, are you saying something?
I'm just trying to see what the view of the thing. I said yes, they're on the same page.
Okay, great. If you're in Ghana, you don't need to go through the entire web process. You can do this on MTN Mobile Money. It's a simple process. It's an easy one. I'll be glad to show you how to do that towards the end of the presentation. But you just have to dial the MTN code *170#, and you select option 5, financial services, 4, pensions and investment. You would see GrowForMe there, option 3, and then you can select 1, I want to invest. And that's how the process. Very simple, very straight to the point. Now, with that said, if you're not on MTN, you could use *800 *008#, *800 *008#. It works on all networks. Great. Okay, so this is the investment portal where you're able to basically, invest. For the first time, if you are on the website, you will find that you can read about that particular category of products here on the website. So once you click on read more, you can read about it before you can now come back and then you can do the actual investment. So say I want to do share nut or soybean. Share nut, like I said, soybean is my favorite. Share nut is also a great product. But let's say I wanted to do soybean trade. Now it's very important to know that there's different categories of products. So if you select soybean trade, it means you are financing the commodity trading business or operations. So once I select soybean trade, I can give it a name, and let me call it Nanes Investments. Now, I then have an investment financial summary here, which tells me the cost of 1 unit, which is the minimum amount I need to get involved in 1 unit of this, particular product. And it shows me our fee, and once it shows that the total amount I have to pay for a unit, it tells me the potential range or return, and in monetary terms, that's 38 cedis to 58 6 cedis, in addition to my 472 cedis. So I make between this. Now, assuming I wanted to do about maybe 47,000 cedis, which is about $4,700 in euros, I'm not too sure. I'm looking at a return between 3,825 to 5,685 cedis, a range. Now, what informs these numbers? We have an inbuilt calculator that makes it very easy for you to understand this. So in this calculator, let me make it a bit big. You would see clearly here that we show you what the total cost is, which is the unit cost and the units plus the operational charges here, 47,250, and we show you the low case scenario and the high case scenario. The low case scenario as 6 cedis per unit, and a high case scenario of 6 cedis, 6.62 per unit. You're looking at an estimated revenue of 60,000 to 66,200. Now the gross profit is subtracting the 47,000 from the revenue. We can now make see a gross profit of 12,750 to 18,950. That is providing a gross return of 26.98 to 40.11%. But remember, in our business model, we share in between you, the investor, the trader, or the actual business operating it, and then GrowForMe. So with that said, after the split, you are now making about 33,800 to 5,600. Now, the margins vary because depending on the level of activity in the actual operation, the profit split varies. So it's not a consistent profit split across all the time. But in the case of farming, you would clearly see that the profit split is very consistent. Now, why do I like commodity trading? Because the farmer would have already done the risk of farming. He has the commodities. There is a market, we can buy and supply. And of course, there is a huge post-harvest loss. Almost 1.5 billion in post-harvest loss. So personally playing in the commodity space or the machinery space is a great deal for me. Why the machinery space? Because there are just not enough tractors, and the economics of the tractor operation is very good, right? Threshing for a farmer, for every 10 bags that's threshed, the machine earns a bag, which is meaning you spend about 270 cedis on fuel, you earn a bag that's valued currently about 450 cedis. So multiples of that, thousands of that, the economics makes sense. But let's come back to this. So now that I know what my returns are and I clearly understand it, I can go ahead and say I want to invest. When you're doing anything above 80 units, you're only limited to bank transfer. Last 2 weeks, some had paid, but their investment had not been activated. During the week, it was solved, and now they could see their farms and their trades were activated. But if you're going to do anything above 80 units, you can only make a bank transfer. And it's important to acknowledge terms and conditions, and also important to know that because this is a real economy investment, this is real. This is not like people are going to compare it to treasury bill and all that. We don't. No, this is real people, real agriculture. We always give ourselves a 1 to 3 month window where we can finalize trades, finalize sales, and then load systems to pay back. So that's just always a caveat there. So if I wanted to proceed, I'll just click pay, and then I'll fill in the bank details after I've made payments. This is the account that you make payments to, and I'll fill in with all the way I made it. Whether I made a bank transfer, it was check or it was Stripe, I'll indicate that, and I'll put on information here and upload the evidence of payment and save. Now, if I did anything below 80 units and say I was doing about 70 units, which was a total value of let me do like 50 units. Yeah, a total value of about 23,000. That's about $2,300. I could pay with a local card or an international card. For a local card, actually that support both international cards, but that settles in cedis. So I can use a Ghana card or I can use an international card to make payments. Or we've also implemented an integration with Stripe, which can allow you to use your card on a trusted platform that you want, like Stripe, where you can also use your card to make payments. So in that case, you select Stripe and then you would basically click pay. So it checks out, you put in your card details, you debit it, and then we can proceed to now have the capital to do the actual investments. And Stripe supports also bank payment, so you can also do bank payments if you want to do that. Right? So that said, and that out of the way, I've showed you how to invest. So at this point, I want to now wait. If there are any questions, then I'll jump into how you can set how you want to receive your payments back.
Okay, great. And I want to questions on the.
Sorry, Denta, I cannot hear you properly.
One of the questions.
Okay. Sorry, Denta, let me just maybe shift. Fill out my screen share. I can see what you see on. Let me see. Great. Okay. What are the operational charges and why do they cost 5%? An honest question. Could you explain? Yeah, absolutely. Let me stop sharing my screen so that it doesn't. Yeah, great. Yeah, absolutely. So, GrowForMe does two things before we actually do the actual operation. First, it's a platform. And the platform you are using has a fee that comes with it. And this is built by the engineering tech department, and it runs. And by the way, we are the platform is licensed by SEC, and we are not the only users of the platform. Businesses can also list and raise capital. So there's a platform fee that's embedded. Secondly, is the intermediary fee embedded in that. The intermediary fee is basically a license that requires that we do our due diligence on any particular project that we deploy investors' capital to make sure it checks off, it's safe, all the basic due diligence are done. We've gone there physically to look at the project. Financial due diligence is done, legal due diligence is done, the background of directors are checked to be sure that these are good things we can deploy capital in. Then embedded in that cost is also the monitoring and the reporting of these projects to you, the investors, around the activities that are around the investment you've done. So this 5% is covering the platform, the intermediary that reviews a deal and all the legal and then and the due diligence processes, then also involved with the activity of reporting and the operations around the investments that are being done. So that is the fee. The rest of the 95% is what actually goes directly into the asset class you have invested in, which could be the machinery or a farm or commodity trade and so on and so forth. So that is what the fee does. Okay, I hope I covered it. Is there a limit to the number of units an individual can purchase? Yes. According to the investment crowdfunding regulations, you are not supposed to invest more than 10% of your annual income into investment crowdfunding. And the reason being that within investment crowdfunding, you are sharing in the risk and the reward. If it succeeds, you benefit. If it fails, you feel the impact. So the regulator, wanting to protect you, advises that you don't invest more than 10% of your investment, of your annual income. However, if you are an experienced investor and you've been doing investment as a living, you don't have these restrictions. You can invest as much as you want. And this is all found in the investment crowdfunding regulations, and I'm happy to share the link with Denta so that you can look more into it. Great. Yeah, so we do have a GrowForMe app. That's what I'm walking you through on the web, and it's also an MTN. It's mobile responsive, so you can load it on your browser and use it, but you don't have to go to the Play Store and install it. It's basically a responsive app you can use on your mobile phone easily.
Nana, can you go into the timelines of when people can get their investment back once they invest?
Yes. So I'll share my screen to do that because it's unique for every single product. Every product has its own timeline. So as you're about to invest, you must always look at the timeline for the setting product that you want to invest in. So I'm going to share my screen, and after I answer that question, I'll move on ahead to now basically show you how it looks like after you invest and what kind of updates you get. Great. Then how are we doing with time? Are we on course?
Yeah, we're good. We're very good.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again. I'm going to answer the time question. Great. So for every campaign you see on the website, there's always a start time, start date, and an end date. Start date and an end date. Start date and an end date. But as I showed you within the investment campaign, you must always understand that we give ourselves plus 1 to 3 months, as stated here, for any operational activity that must happen. And these are real and real investments, so we always have to be very real with you, an investor. And that's why I always tell people, it's not like you're doing treasury bill. So if you come in with the mindset of treasury bills, very different. These are real things you can calm down and see and feel and experience. Then we have that trip we need to do. So when you're back in Accra, let's discuss it. So the timelines, it varies. And if you select the product, you can always see the timeline towards the end of it. So let's say you wanted to do tricycles, you can see it's 1st April to 1st April 2027. It's always available, it's listed there. Now with that said, so you have done the investment and you have completed an investment. How does it look? What are you going to get? So I'm going to now bring you into an account which I'm going to show you basically what it looks like if you have basically invested and how your updates are. So this is account where I'm going to basically log in to see an investment into an old pineapple farm around 2021. Denta we had first done a presentation like this, and then we would experience what it looks like when you actually invest. So I'm logging in now. Great. So this is an old paid farms. It was let's use a pineapple farm. Good. Pine farms. So over here you can see I named it the Pine Farm. I did four units. It was in 2020. Harvest as cash, meaning you won the money. At first we had an option for user stake. I wanted the product or I wanted the money, but eventually we only made it capital because most people really did not want the product, they wanted just the capital. If you still do need commodities from us, our commodity trade department that also is licensed and can do exports, we'll be happy to talk to you and provide you the needed agricultural commodities. Now you can see the same disclaimer here. So over here you can see the investment that was done, right? You can see the total amount paid. You can see the low case and high case scenarios I spoke about, and you can see the returns that was coming to investors. Like I said, in farming, the profit margin, investors are getting 35%, GrowForMe is getting 15%, and you are getting 50%. The operator is getting 35%, and GrowForMe gets 15%. So you can see all that. This is where before you made a decision. Then you can go to the stages, which shows you the different stages that particular asset goes through. Now, different products, different stages. So in the case of the pineapple, it was land preparation, was planting, it was fertilization, then also maintenance. Then they finished off with the flora induction, which basically they're inducing the pineapple to fruit. And then you had the fruit development stage where the fruit now begins to form, and then you had the harvesting stage. So you kindly will not see pineapple on our platform because we did pineapple in the early days. We had a great outcome on the pineapple, but we now want to do things that also impacts lots more people, and we realized that up north they didn't have a lot of they needed more support. So up north pineapple is not grown. So you can see here, for example, if you clicked on the image, you can get more detailed pictures about it and see what's happening. So it pretty much brings you very close to what's happening in the field, even if you are not, right? And the pictures are also can be timestamped so that you can see what's happening at any stage of the production process. So it will be different for machines, it will be different for working capital, it will be different for energy, but we show you different stages that the whole cycle goes through. Great. So that is what happens after you invested. Now at the end of the investment, you want to receive your payment. We will announce when payments are available for users to now pay out. For those in Ghana on MTN, I'm so excited because just last 2 weeks we implemented a feature where at the end of the season you don't need to wait for us to pay out. We now make an announcement that it's time you can pay yourself out or roll over. So there are two options. Option one, you can roll over, and option two, you can pay out. And that is exciting because then the returns from the entire activity is now available on the system and you can pay yourself out. Or you can roll over. The benefit of rollover is for every payout, there's a 1% fee for a payout to investors. But when you roll over, you don't incur this 1% fee. Literally the entire amount you earn is rolled over into the same kind of asset. So if it was a soybean farm, it goes to the next soybean farm. If it was a cashew trade, it goes into the next cashew trade. So you don't need to worry yourself about the nitty-gritties of it. But you would see your returns for that particular season whilst you do the rollover. So to see how to determine if you wanted to pay yourself out or you wanted to see the details of your returns, you simply go on finance. Within finance, you'd see the payments that are due you. You can see the payments you have made through the platform. It also gives you details about basically what it is that you invested in. So you can see all that. This was a test. So you can also be able to, under the finance, you would see all the referrals that you've made. You would also be able to see the farm returns if you did farm return investments, or you can see the investment returns. Or I mean, when I say trade returns, any of the investments you did other than farming, that's where it sits. Then you can also see your payouts, if any payouts are done to you, and you can see a statement of both your paying and your payouts right here. Finally, you can select your payout method. Your payout method is how you want to be paid, whether it's mobile money or it's a Ghana bank or a foreign bank. You can now indicate and fill the form, submit it, and that will be used to make the payment. In the past, we used to support virtual cards, but we no longer support virtual cards. It's basically Momo, local, and international banks. Now, over here, you can get all your notifications. You also get email notifications. If you're in Ghana, SMS notifications, and that is designed to allow you to engage. Most important thing to also remind you that we always have a team that's available to chat with you if you wanted to speak on WhatsApp. You also have, or you wanted to use our open channel, it's not a 24-hour team. It's available during working hours. So if you do reach out, please be patient for working hours. You can also request a call back and fill a form where the team will call you back once it's working hours. So that said, I've literally walked you through the entire GrowForMe platform. I've walked you through our actual operations on ground. I've walked you through what your capital is going to do, and I've walked you through the returns you can make in all transparency. The last thing I want to walk you through is I want to show you the people behind it, and after that, then I'll hand over to you.
Yeah.
So
before you go on to the next question, one question that came up was does GrowForMe have plans on being listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange? Hello, Nana, did you hear me? I was saying that does GrowForMe have any plans on being listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange? And then somebody also asked how many units makes an acre?
Thank you. Very important question. On the stock exchange, I cannot say a yes or a no now. We're actually raising capital for our seed round. We did a pre-seed about 4 years ago, and now we're doing a seed round. We are not looking at going on the stock exchange right away. We want to really grow this with retail investors. 6 years ago, we had just a few handful, just 100 investors. Now we have 3,000 retail investors. So who knows? Maybe when we get to the point where we want to raise a Series A, we could make a decision whether to let our investors take a stake in the business or go to the stock exchange. I cannot answer right now. But what I can tell you is that we are raising basically a $2.1 million round, 1 million in equity for 10% of the business, and 1.1 million in debt. So we're excited to talk about that if that is something that's of interest to you.
And Nana, how many units make an acre?
8 units make an acre for farm. So if you're doing any farm, 8 units will make a farm.
And if people wanted to invest in this 2.5, somebody's looking at a bigger investment, what do they have to do to be able to invest in this opportunity?
Invest in terms of the products we have on our website or in the company, just to be clear?
In the company, the seed rounds that you're doing.
Yes, so absolutely, that's a conversation we like to have. I would suggest you route through Denta, and Denta would put together a meeting where we can have a full investor briefing, and we will be able to take it from there. So Denta will be our go-to contact person to organize that meeting, and we will be happy to walk you through a full, business presentation, and also be able to do your DD, and for that matter also be part of the next round.
Okay, perfect. Nana, you can carry on.
Awesome. So before I show you the people behind the company, I want to tell you where we are looking at, where we want to go to. Because it's not just about investing in the products and making returns and creating impact. We really want to grow this. We want to be part of this big movement where people are able to take control of the destiny of their country in their lifetime and make a difference. So between the next 2 years, we want to grow our aggregation sites from 6 locations in Ghana to 60, right? From 6 to 60. Now, every single location we have where we either buy farmers' commodities or provide them with mechanization services or seed or fertilizer or any of the trainings and the support we provide, it requires about $110,000 to effectively be operational. That capital is literally working capital, and that's why we have working capital as an option to invest in. So we want to go from 6 locations to 60 locations across the country. We currently have a model which supports not just on the production level, supports also on the post-production and harvesting, training, value addition, and helping them to understand how to add more value, not just to their product, but also to themselves by training them. In the next medium term, we want to have over 500,000 farmers that will have access to our financial services. And just to give you context, remember I said we had a farmer technology that allows farmers to basically be on our platform and access different services, as I showed you earlier on. this. So the first 3 are for our farmer services: farmer save, farmer loan, farmer invest, farmer insurance. So we'd like to grow that to 500,000 farmers being able to put money aside for their families, their loved one, being able to access insurance and so on. And that is critical because this segment we are trying to serve is unbanked. And in the long term, our plan is that we'll have 1 million farmers who will be on the system, and at any point in time, they can sell up to $15 million worth of product across multiple locations and multiple markets. And we want the system to be embedded in 3 major telco networks, so that any farmer in any of the 4 key countries we want to be in by that time can have access to import ready market and the needed financing. Now, with that said, we have a very solid team that's making this possible. I'm the only one speaking to you today, but I have an amazing team behind me. So this is I'm a 2-time tech founder. I'm trained in machine systems and technology. I did my master's in University of Ghana, and I also had a leadership training program in Oxford. Our co-founder, Godfred, and CTO, amazing guy who's built amazing platforms, 3-time tech founder, and he's leading our engineering technology solutions. He is the only guy who has built a licensed investment crowdfunding platform, and he really understands the space. Next is Francis, our co-founder, who is also has great experience in large commercial scale production and production across the country. Next is Amabel, our head of partnership. Amabel also has an MPhil in agronomy. Oh, by the way, Francis was the guy who literally gave us a call back before 2020 and I think we should build this business. So Francis really initiated this entire experience before our trip from Ghana to Nigeria on bamboo bicycles. So for Amabel, our amazing head of partnerships. So Amabel has an MPhil in agronomy, 8 years experience leading major projects with partners like AGRA, United Nations Capital Development Fund, and so on. So because of what we do at the ground level, these development partners tend to want to work with us to implement projects on the ground. And Amabel oversees all that operational activity. Amazing lady. She first started off as our head of agronomy and now migrated into partnership. So has a very deep and thorough understanding about impact financing and transforming, smaller farmers. She's also a Scala scholar. Next, and the managers is our head of trade, Prince. So Prince is the biggest revenue earner in the business because trade does lots of commodity trading all year round, and he's schooled in UK and Stirling University. He has 5 years experience in this space, and he's a tremendous guy. He has a strong understanding of what happens on the ground, on finance, and on international markets. But we are not just by ourselves. We have a very solid board that governs our company. We have Professor Bani, our board chair, also the board chairman of GrowForMe. GrowForMe is Ghana's institutions that de-risks investments into agriculture. So he has 25 plus years experience in the space. And Honorable Boston Tijani also invested in us at the very early stage of our business. He's currently the Minister of Information and Technology in Nigeria. When he started, he was not politically exposed, but now he's a minister. Great guy who has really guided us to our growth. And Professor Irene, our board chairman, who has a 25 years experience in agribusiness. So not only is a company doing something that's amazing, but is led and governed by great people. And that said, Denta, over to you, and happy to answer any more questions that may be there.
Thank you so much, Nana, for the in-depth presentation. Really, really appreciate that. And I also like the fact that it's all Black people. All Black people, Black excellence on your board, and young people as well. I'm seeing so many young people, and we really appreciate that, because it's like, how do we build our own? How do we invest in our own? How do we invest in people like you? And so I'm really excited to see a board, to see your team full of young Black people. That's just one thing that I must say.
On behalf of the team, big thank you for the wonderful opportunity, Denta. We are happy.
So Nick says, let me know what the next step, so I can rewatch this video on YouTube. If I have any more questions, who do I ask? So you can ask, I did put up our email. You can email us, you can call us for any questions that you may have, and we will direct you to Nana. and the team for any other maybe bigger investments that you want to do, or just questions that you may have. We are happy to assist with that. So, you know, we're here to basically support you guys as much as possible. Please let me know. I'm going to just hold on for another 2 more minutes. For those of you who have your last minute questions, Nana is here. So we are very open to you asking these questions. Let me see if I missed anything else out. Okay, I answered that question. Okay. We answered all of the questions. But I'm so glad that you guys were able to join us. It's really important that we invest in our own. Like I said, we're doing this monthly. Every month we'll give you an opportunity that you can invest in. And, you know, Black people, our own people, Africans, people from the diaspora, people on the continent, everywhere. You know, we really want to make sure that you guys, can you reshare the email? Yes, I can. It's on the screen right now for more information. Majwa m@guuberawards.co.uk. You can email her. She will direct you to Nana for further inquiries. Were you, I don't know, my people, were you able to register today? Was anybody able to register? Do you have to register every year to be a member? If you're talking about the diaspora network, yes, it's yearly, if that's what you're talking about. But if you're talking about the GrowForMe, no, once you register, that's it. You can either roll on your investment or you can take out your money, whichever one that you want to do. But that is the process. So the next time that we'll be going live is on the 27th of this month with the 24-hour economy. And then on the 29th of March, we're doing the soursap investment. And then in April the 17th, we're doing fish farming for those who are interested in fish farming as well. Okay, is that the full email? Yes, that is the full email. That is the full email. Let me type it into the box for you. So for that, so you can just copy and paste this. Yes, let me just paste that again, just the email, and you can do that. Okay, so we have about 11 signups, which is great. Well done for those of you who were able to sign up today. You know, if some of you, I know that some of you might want to sleep over it and just think, do I want to do it? Do I want to sign up? Okay, you can also think about it, watch the video again, and see if it's something that you want to do. Mama D, thank you so much for this. Hearing from the founder is way better. It is, and that's why we tried to do this online session, because sometimes, you know, when you read the website, you might not get the information that you need, you know. You just need someone to really, really delve in and explain it better for you to understand. And so I really appreciate everybody who has joined today's conversation for you to get a clearer picture. I'm hoping that more of you will join. We want to make sure as Goober Enterprise, we get about 500 people on the platform. That's our target. And so we have a challenge, and Nana is always available for us to do sessions. Once I get a lot more of you that is really willing, we will have another session with Nana as well. Yes, that's true. That is, thank you, Nana, for bringing that to my attention. Some of the campaigns are not going to be online for very long. So it's better that you sign up now than rather than later, because some of them will go off. So if you're seeing what's on the platform right now, it's a good time to sign up. Even if you want to think about it later, just sign up, put your details in, register, and then think about it. But if you sign up now, it's way, way better than waiting. So Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, guys. I will reshare the link for you to register one more time. And again, if you have any challenges, any questions, no matter how small it is, this is your money that you're investing. So no matter how small you might think it's a stupid question, there's nothing is a stupid question. You need to feel comfortable. You need to make sure that it's the right thing for you to invest in. Like I said, we have a target of 500 people that we want to get on the platform. And I'm hoping that all of you that have joined tonight will be able to join this time around as well. Yes. So Nana, any final words for the people before we go?
Yes, I mean, last 2 weeks I said he who finances your food determines your health. But this week I would say, and I'll repeat what the president said. He says there's enough CD. I'll repeat what our president said. There's enough CDs in our country to buy our own cocoa. And I dare to say there's enough capital within Africans on the continent and out of the continent to transform our agricultural value chains to benefit everybody. No one must be hungry, and you can be a part of that change. So take action today. Be part of those who take action by investing, not those who complain and do nothing. Take action and be part of the change. Thank you.
I love that, Nana. Thank you so much. Let's be all part of this change that we want to see on the continent. It starts with us. We have to invest. We have to show the world that we can invest in our own. And so, Nana, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy, hectic schedule. But when I do come back to Ghana, I am going to come to the farm. I'm going to fly out, going to come to the farm and do another video so people can actually see me in the farm and be reassured that this is real. I know that sometimes people just want to see it. And so I'm really, really excited. And I am praying that, you know, we get this 1 million, 2 million investment for you to be able to expand, because we don't want to see you just in Ghana. We want to see you all across the continent, because agriculture is on the continent, right? We have such fertile lands, and I truly believe that organizations like you, if they have the right investment, you have the vision already, you have the team, you have everything, you have the knowledge, just a little bit of money to push, we can take it to the next level. What do we get when we bring more people on board? Okay, so I think there's once you register, you then have a referral code that you can share with people, and I think you get 1%. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes. So for anyone who wants to get into the referral program, we'll have to sign a contract with you to do that, because it requires some extra training to understand our product. But yes, it is 1% for referrals.
Thank you so much for getting everybody to join Gooba. And when you join Gooba, you will join GrowForMe. That's how we're all going to grow. That's how we're all going to grow. And so, Nana, thank you so much for your time today. I will see you. Oh, GrowForMe, please, can I have your support number? Okay, we will. I think the support person actually emailed Isaac, but we will share that with you. Or Nana, if there's or email us, Mr. Frimpong, please email us, and then we'll put you in direct contact with the team. Okie dokie. All righty, guys. Wow. Thank you for joining me on today's show. It's been real good. I think I even got some more gems like from Nana today. Like, I've learned more than I did the last time that he was on. And also last time, actually, he showed some testimonials of some diasporans that had actually invested, which he didn't show this time around. But there are testimonials. I think they're online as well. Or if you want the link, we can also share that with you, of people giving their testimony of investing in GrowForMe. Again, thank you so much for joining me. Those of you are on the continent, good night to you guys. Those of you are in the US with me, hey, it's nearly afternoon. I'm going to go and have my lunch. I haven't had my lunch yet. But yes, thank you so much for joining me. Any questions, like I said, please let me know. But before we go, actually, for anyone that wants to donate in the Goober Foundation, please, this is our QR code. We are supporting neurodiversity. Our campaign is called Neurodiversity is My Superpower. Yes, we just finished our campaign. Autism is not my stigma, is not your stigma. But now we are doing Neurodiversity is My Superpower. So anybody that would like to donate to this amazing cause of us helping children and families who are have children with disability, neurodiversity, we are helping them. And so we'd love to have your support as well. Okay. Again, thank you all so much for joining. Shout out to Sandra. Okay. Mama D, I want to welcome people. What is this? Mama D, I want you to welcome people from Fidelity Bank, Ghana, MTN to shed more light. Oh, there's an unanswered question. What question was that? A lot of unanswered questions on my mind. Okay, well, please, email us any questions that you may have that we haven't answered, that you might want to know. We are happy to answer those questions. Again, thank you all so much for joining me. Like I said, next week, is it next week? The weeks are just flying by. I don't even know what. Hold on a second. Let me take this comment off. Okay. Yeah, so next week on the 27th, discover opportunities in the 24-hour economy. Yes, we're going to be discussing with Dr. Ishmael on the 27th of February. And then Soursap George, I call him George the Farmer. He's a lawyer by profession in the US and has moved to Ghana to start his soursap farm. And he's doing extremely well. Now he says, you know what, Denta, I want to expand this. I want to, get more people on board so that we can grow this. And so again, what is your link in the US? What link? Please let me know what link you are talking about. And I will share that link with you. But anybody that wants to sign up to the next few shows, this is the link. And you can also join the Goober Diaspora Network. We bring all of these opportunities to your doorstep and many more other things. And so again, thank you all for joining me. Have a good night and have a blessed new week that's coming up. Okay, bye-bye.